Kevin Williams here for the Shore Sports Network, and needless to say, a guy who needs no introduction, but he's going to get one anyway. Of course, Tom's River's favorite baseball son, Todd Frazier, third baseman for the New York Mets, who we catch up with during the holiday season, is what is his off season, and obviously appreciate you spending a few minutes with us, and always good to see you.
Always good to see you, man. I love coming here, and you're always a good friend of mine, so it's great.
Beard looks good, too, by the way.
I just shaped it up today. Got to get ready, have another kid. My wife needs me to trim it up, and eventually before next week I will.
Yeah, why don't we start there? It's a little bit unusual, but, we know you have two children, a son and a daughter, young ones, yes. And your wife is due very shortly with your third. First of all, do you know, boy or girl?
We didn't find out. This is our this is our second time doing it. It makes for a good surprise. We're praying for a boy, but just a healthy baby, that'll be good. So on the 23rd, right after Thanksgiving, let's get it going, baby.
Pretty wild. How has fatherhood changed you?
It changed me big time. I mean, I know I'm still a fiery guy, I'm still the emotions and everything, those 0 for 4 nights kind of, they take a back seat now, which is good. You don't try and worry about, baseball as much. You come home and you got two kids smiling and, wanting to give you a hug and kiss. It kind of puts everything in perspective. So, yeah, it's changed me a lot. My son's playing now. It's fun to watch him a little bit play T-ball, and my daughter's trying to hit. It's cool. My daughter tries to be like my son, which is great, and that's what I tried to do with my two older brothers. So hopefully this third one comes in and hits the ground running, because he or she's gonna have to catch up.
Kylie will be 3 in December. The Blakester will be 5 in March. Some of his video streaming highlights, his Twitter blast have almost gone viral. How's he doing at the bat?
Oh, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's got a little uppercut swing, which we like. I haven't taught him really anything yet, but he's enjoying the game. Every day since I've been home, I have to throw to him in the kitchen or in the family room with his wiffle ball bat, and we pretend like we're Aaron Judge, or he tries to be like me. I said, "Bud, don't try and do that. That swing's terrible." I tell him. So be like Aaron Judge or anybody else, and he's doing great.
Listen, if we go back a year ago, it was kind of a little bit of a tumultuous time for you. Free agency was just getting ready to start. You really didn't know where you'd be, and didn't sign with the Mets till February. So that had to be kind of a rough off season for you, just wondering, where am I going to be?
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. I tell everybody it was one of the worst feelings you ever have. We're talking about a job. I didn't have a job, so it's very trying times. So, I have my wife telling me, hey, call your agent again, call him again. And in my mind, I felt the same way. I'm like, let's keep calling him, but, he really didn't have any news. And it's actually nice this season to know that I'm signed, at least a guarantee contract for this year, and then we'll have to go back next year. And but at the same time, pretty excited. Everybody's going to be healthy except Cespedes, and hopefully we get some key acquisitions with, I'm sure we'll get into my old agent, now GM, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that leads me into the next thing. When you mention your agent, that agent your wife wanted you to call was Brody Van Wagenen from CAA, who you've had. And, of course, as everyone knows, he's now the new general manager of the Mets, had to divest himself from the business. Do you stay with CAA? Have you met, or do you know the new, I guess for now, agent you have?
Yeah, no, CAA, it's a big organization, big agency. They have, with baseball, at least 10 people that I've known over the years, that I can count on, even if Brody wasn't there, he was out of town. So I'm going to stay with them. And, I've talked to 4 or 5 guys already, say, hey, don't worry, we got your back. And, I love that. I'm a family guy. Those guys are, I've been with them for a long time. And, sometimes you just got to stay with the group you've been with. They've been successful over the years. And, to have him as my general manager, I'm pretty excited, to be honest with you. He's a good friend, good family friend. And I think he knows what he's doing. It kind of just fell into his lap, to be honest. I talked to him about it, and he said, I really wasn't looking to do this. They called me up, and I said, bro, take it and go and see what happens. And the interview was great, and now we got a guy that we can count on, and we're excited.
Will it be a little bit uncomfortable? Can it be uncomfortable at the same time? I mean, like you said, you're under contract for next year. Yeah. Not an issue for that. But, there are guys who are some of his clients whose contract status has been discussed, including one Jacob deGrom, who just won the Cy Young Award. And, a lot of Met fans are hoping, hey, let's take care of him long term.
Yeah, I think you will. I think that, it's not the top priority. I think maybe a spring training kind of thing, because we got to get our team, we got to get focused on adding a couple guys. bullpen, maybe a catcher, and maybe a couple of utility guys we're going to need. So let's work on our pitching first, getting guys on the team, and then spring training. Usually when stuff builds up, there's a handful of guys that sign either long term or get another year in their contract. So I think Brody understands that. I think he's going to have a lot of fun just because he can rely on us and other guys on the team. So I know he's called me already about a couple things, and I'm pretty excited. I feel like this team's going in the right direction, and let's see who the first guy we get.
Listen, if he ever has an empty seat in the luxury box and calls you, you can always call me. Hey, you have been blessed with very good health throughout your athletic career. I mean, from Little League, high school, college. Last year was a little bit different for you. I think you missed about 45 games, hamstring problem, rib problem. Had to be very frustrating for you.
Yeah, it was difficult. First time ever. Especially the hamstring problem. Those things can linger, and I'd rather have broken my ankle, to be honest with you, because you never know, hamstrings can come back in a heartbeat. So you don't wish that upon anybody, but it happened, and I played through it for 3 weeks. I know myself. It's like let's not be a wimp. Try it out instead of just going out that time, which I probably should have. But at the same time, we're doing well. I was focusing on winning games, and the rib injury was just a freaky little accident too. It's just little things that happen, I guess, as I'm getting older. I'm training. My training regimen is going down a little bit. I'm not trying to get after it as much. I'm trying to get bigger and stronger. But little things you got to do as you get older. And as in baseball, 32, I'll be 33. It's considered old, as you know what I mean. But I don't feel old, so it's something that you just have to do and just keep focusing on playing the game.
Boy, did you, as a team, did you guys experience the highs and lows in a relatively short time? I mean, I'm a lifelong Mets fan, 12-2 start. I mean, the toast of New York, the toast of baseball, and then things kind of fell apart. And while you did play much better in the second half, 8 games over 500, you kind of fell out of the race. That had to be tough because it was so much fun in April.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, we're 12-1. I think we started 12-1. Everything's looking great, and then it's one of those things. I played with the White Sox too. Same thing. I think we were 25-12 or something after the first month and a half or whatever it is, and something just didn't click. It was the weirdest thing. One injury came, then another, and then guys just didn't do their job. Including myself. So I really think baseball. We should have what they do in the minor leagues. I don't mean to change gears, but two halves. I think that would be great. It kind of keeps teams from tanking. It kind of keeps teams in it, involved. It's like, all right, forget about the first half. Let's go. Let's battle, because I think Tampa Bay would have definitely been in the playoffs. Yeah. And teams that might not deserve it, or not necessarily deserve it, or might not be in there every year would be great. But for us, just got to keep moving forward and work off of Jacob deGrom, Cy Young, and I think that's one of the most special thing you can get: MVP, Cy Young, Silver Slugger, and we knew he'd get it. So I actually have a pair of cleats he signed for me this year that he used in the game. I told him to write it down before the season ended, but he didn't want to jinx it. So I'll be sending those during spring training. So we're good.
And despite that, and it was a disappointing season for the team and for you personally with the injuries and that, it had to be nice to be closer to home really for a full season, which is something you have not experienced as a professional player.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I think we had about 7 or 8 off days at home. I think I made it back to 7 of them. I got to watch my kid play T-ball. It was awesome. It's great for my wife too. It's only an hour drive, to where we live in upper North Jersey, and it was cool. Traffic's a pain in the butt, but I can deal with that as long as my wife and kids are fine, and I get to do it again. So I'll learn from that, and maybe I'll make it home for a couple more tries.
When you say an hour from North, because you have a place during the season up there, so it's easier for you to get from Queens at home after a game, right?
Yeah. This commute from Tom's River to there every day, I feel how my buddies feel when they got to drive into the city, and I'm just not a fan of that.
So you alluded to the fact that in terms of baseball, you'll be 33 on opening day next year, which is not ancient, but it's older. So I'm just wondering if you, at this point in your life, have started thinking a little bit more about your post-baseball career. I mean, I guess you'd like to have a good, healthy season and get another contract, but have you started to give some thought to that?
A little bit. Not really at all, because I want to play for 3 or 4 more years. So, for me, maybe I'll come in here and take your job. I think that'd be pretty sweet. That's a nice job. But no. Just focus on playing. I mean, people are always like, "Oh, you'll be great in the booth." You'll be great. MLB Network maybe might watch. I've done that before. I would like to do that, but also, I have 3 kids. I like to hang out with them, watch them grow up a little bit, and I don't want to miss a thing with them because I've missed, a lot of stuff already, and I just want to, be around them, to be honest.
Yeah, I've always thought that you'd be a natural, and I know they love you on the MLB Network. You're like a fave of that. But do you possibly see yourself involved in the game in any other capacity? Could you see yourself as a coach or manager or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've thought about that. I wouldn't want to do any minor. If there was a job opening, probably in a big league team, it's something I would consider because I know that minor league life. I've been around it. I see what the coaches go through. It's not the best life. So, I would rather stay at home with the family than do anything else. But if there was an opportunity to coach maybe in a major league team, I think that would be great. And, we can go from there. But, I always told everybody I'd like to be a high school coach maybe down the road. And just something on the side just to, do and, have kids, understand the, the major league life and growing and being, not only a great player, but a great person on and off the field. And I think that's something that we kind of get away with a little bit.
So if you played another 4 or 5 years, you'd be right around the time that maybe Coach Frank retires at Toms River South. You jump right back into the wigwam.
I know. And I don't even know if that guy will ever retire. I think he'll have to retire when he passes away because he loves the game of baseball. I just talked to him the other day. He's doing great. It's just something that I don't know when he'll retire. But he'll go down to history as the best coach in New Jersey, in my opinion, so that'd be great.
You just touched on something, and I think one of the things you have to take a lot of pride in, the baseball stuff takes care of itself, but, the image you have built over the years as really the guy who grew up in Toms River, never really changed. A lot of the same friends you had in high school, never bought into the whole, superstar kind of thing. And, when people mention your name, kind of the first thing that comes to mind is, same kid I knew 20 years ago. And that's got to be something you have to take a lot of pride in.
Yeah, definitely. It's something, I looked up to Derek Jeter, man. He was a guy that he played the game the right way. I mean, I don't think he had one problem off the field. And if he did, he found a way to get, around it, if there was any. But no. He did everything the right way. He was focused on one thing, and that's his job, and did his job on and off the field. I got some stuff in the works right now, with some Field of Dreams stuff going on with some, kids that are, special needs, trying to make a baseball field for them. And there's other things I got in the works too as well. So I'm just trying to, not only help, my family out and, the town out, but, other people. And I think people need to understand that there's a responsibility as as an athlete, as a person, and what I'm doing, and it's humbling. So for me, it's time to give back even more, and focus on my area, and that's Toms River and Ocean and Monmouth County.
Yeah, there's no doubt you have a special fondness for kids, and especially kids who have challenges. I mean, I think of the Bat Boy in Cincinnati, right? Yep. That so that's something that really does mean a lot to you.
Yeah, just like baseball, it's I think every kid needs to get out there and have as much fun as possible, and if you have a problem going on, I'm just trying to, make it maybe 1% better, or, as much percent we can make it better for that family, for one day or for a couple days out of the year. I think that'd be great.
All right, so tell me as a Met fan why next season is going to be better.
Well, let's first start off with Jacob deGrom. He's healthy. He's the best pitcher in the league right now. I can argue with that with anybody. We have a new GM who's ready and focused. I can't wait to see what he's going to bring to the table. Like I said, everybody's healthy except Cespedes. I think Travis d'Arnaud's coming back as well. He's going to be healthy before spring training. And Zach Wheeler, he's got potential to be a Cy Young Award winner the way he pitches. Noah Syndergaard coming back. And we got a young crop of outfielders and, guys. And it's funny. I was going to say this in the other thing, but if you look at the lineup now, I'm the oldest player we have non-pitchers. It's pretty funny to think about that. At 32 years old, I'm the veteran of the team right now if we don't pick anybody up, and it kind of gives me the chills a little bit because I'm only 32, but, I have some wisdom behind my ears, and Ahmed Rosario, who had an exceptional year last year, came out a little slow, but his defense is great, and I'm going to have him and McNeil next to me in the locker room, and I'll make sure they're right on point because we got something special going.
All right, last thing. I noticed the Mets last week announced their promotional schedule for 2019. Opening weekend on Saturday, Todd Frazier WWE Bobblehead Day. Fill me in.
Yeah, this is a bucket lister right here, man. I've been waiting for this my whole career. But yeah, they're having a big event. I don't know if I think it's WrestleMania or SummerSlam they're having in New York. And they said, hey, who better than putting my face on there? I saw it. I look pretty scary on there. I got big muscles, as you can see. I don't have them here, and my legs look like Saquon Barkley's legs. It's pretty cool. I know my son will have. I'll give him 5 of them because he'll probably break 3 in a row right in the beginning because he'd mess around. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'll have a bunch of those, and hopefully we have a packed house so I don't get embarrassed out there.
Well, good luck with the new addition to the family, 10 fingers, 10 toes, all that stuff. Good luck with that. Have a great holiday, and continue to stay humble because it's your greatest characteristic.
I appreciate that. And before we go, Rutgers, Penn State coming up. So who you got? You got Rutgers or no?
Well, we have a little bet on this. We have a dinner bet. I got to give you the point spread, which is like 27.
I saw 35 the other day.
It's not 35, but yeah, I kind of owe you one. You got me a little earlier this year on a game, so
busting chops. That's what we do the whole time, and it's all for fun. But Rutgers, we need a big win. Let's go.
Good luck.
Good luck. All right.
Todd Frazier stops by, and we chat a little off-season baseball more right here on Shore Sports Network. Thanks for watching.